Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel for another interesting review, another Oberbayerisches Helles. This one is from Klosterbrauerei Reutberg, located in the town Sachsenkam in Oberbayern. And it comes in this Euro bottle shape, as you can see, which is the thick bottle shape, called Euro bottle shape in Germany. It's quite popular bottle shape for many small brews like this one in the area. Here you can see the top cap, Reutberger Klosterbräu, and the top label Reutberger Kloster-Hell, the main label, and the back label. So I'm gonna read, of course, more information from this label later on in the review, and more history about the brewery taken from the brewer's website, which I'll of course link to in the description box below as always. But this brewery gives a really nice impression of being for several reasons. Very classical look of the labels. I do have some other beer styles from this brewery, which I'll try later on in the channel. For example, the export and some Weissens from this brewery. But I decided to go with the Kloster-Hell from this brewery because it seems like it's the most sold beer style from this brewery, so it makes sense. Old style, old-fashioned look at the label, which I like, of course. Here you can see the look of the brewery at the beautiful Bavarian landscape. I really like this label, very classical look of it, and always right time for a Helles from Oberbayern. So there's many reasons for it why I'll be looking forward to this review especially much. And of course also the fact that it's a monastery brewery, that's something that I like really much. You know, I like the traditional German style with breweries almost everywhere, in museums, in monasteries, in yeah, almost everywhere there was another thing that I was thinking about, castles, of course. So we have breweries in many places in Bavaria. Well, let's open up the bottle. It was from the year 1677, by the way. Reutberger Klosterbier, and pour it up into the for the beer style well-fitting glass. Always important to use the right type of glass for the beer style that you are reviewing from, in my opinion, and for most Bavarian beer styles, I like this glass very much. I think it fits real nice for most Bavarian beer styles. Here you can see a nice 2-finger thick white foam crown and beautiful golden color of it also as well. Many small bubbles rising up, making it looks really nice and gives a high quality impression. So let's get the aroma, which is really fresh, really giving a great impression. This, so you can see all the small bubbles rising up, also making this look very beautiful, just the way a Bavarian Helles should be. So let's give it a try. The Kloster Reutberg Kloster-Hell. Prost. Yeah, really easy to drink, really rich in taste also, but also mild and fantastic in flavor. I really understand why this is very enjoyed and why this is the most sold one from this brewery, because it just is a must for you to try, in my opinion. Reutberger Kloster-Hell. As you can see, Reutberger Kloster-Hell is fantastic from the Klosterbrauerei Reutberg, e.g. 83679 Sachsenkam, gebraut nach dem Reinheitsgebot von 1516, Brautradition seit über 300 Jahren, Reutberger Kloster-Hell. Anno 1677, bodenständig echt gut, Klosterbrauerei Reutberg.de, link to the brewer's website. Alcohol content 4.8% volume, Reutberger Kloster-Hell 0.5 liter, Zutaten Brauwasser, Gerstmalz, Hopfen. Hergestellt in der Klosterbrauerei Reutberg, Sachsenkam 83679. Bayerisches Bier. Yeah, that's information from that bottle. Let's take a look at the books about Bavarian brews that I'm having. As you know, if you've been following my channel since before, we have this book by Markus Reutberg. Really great about all brews in Bavaria. Here you see Klosterbrauerei Reutberg and its location in the heart of Oberbayern. Here's also a look at the brewery. Always like to take a look at how the brew is looking like, reading some history about it while I review a beer. Klosterbrauerei Reutberg, e.g. Sachsenkam, Oberbayern, recommendation Kloster-Hell with 4.8% volume, middle range regarding its annual output. Klosterbrauerei Reutberg 1677, Michael Pichler is the brewmaster, Am Reutberg 3, 83679 Sachsenkam. Kloster-Brauerei, Reutberg. That's the information from that book. And now over to some interesting information from this brewer's website, which I'll of course link to in the description box below as always. When Countess Anna von Pinsenau, lord of the estate at Reichenborn Castle, later Countess of Carrara and Aquilata, near Sachsenkam in 1618, had the mountain cleared and the monastery built as a result of a vow. She did not think at first that nuns also liked to drink beer instead of water with their meals, especially if they had to be manual workers and engage in agriculture. It was only almost 60 years after the founding of the monastery, namely 1677, that the sisters asked the electoral government for concession to produce their own drink. In the same year, at the Michael Mass, the first brew could finally be brewed. 2 years later, the monastery received a Franciscan lay brother as Vaterbräu for reinforcement. It goes without saying that beer production for home use should be cheap as possible. Attempts were made to produce barley and hops in-house. The field name Hopfengarten near Reutberg still gives clear evidence of this today. In 1786, the chronicler reported a strong influx of travelers from Oberbayern districts and distant lands, of discharged soldiers and improvised people, all whom hoped for solid gift at Monastery Gate instead of the expensive wine from the south. The visitors and guests were now served a jug of their own brew from the Oberland. What was to be expected happened. Complaints from the surrounding brewers, especially from those in Tulz. These allegations alleged that the monastery abuses its concession and maintain a farmer's tavern in which beer is served and drunk from morning to night. Up until secularization, the chronicle repeatedly contained references to lively brewing activity by the Vaterbräu. After the monastery was secularized and rebuilt in 1835, King Maximilian I granted the monastery the so-called foreign brewing rights. The quality products of the now secular master brew were sold at the monastery gate and enthusiastically consumed in the so-called second farmer's room. It must have been a good brew at the time because the revelers didn't keep the curfew, so His Excellency Archbishop Gregorius von Stein felt compelled to build a tavern outside the monastery walls in order to give the monastery the income from the beer tavern and still keep the monastic calm. And there are much more information from this brewer's website. I can't read it all, but much longer history about this brewery from the website. So feel free to read through that if you're interested. But I think that's it for now regarding Klosterbrauerei, Reutberg and the Reutberger Kloster-Hell from Sachsenkam in Oberbayern. Hope you like my reviews and see you again in the next Bavarian beer review.